Hey guys, I'm Brad Jackson from Jackson Audio, and today we're at the Sweetwater Studios demoing the Golden Boy. The Golden Boy is a signature overdrive for an artist named Joey Landreth. He's a good friend of ours, and he came to me maybe last year and said, hey, Brad, can you make me a pedal that is like your Broken Arrow overdrive, but can you make it more of a bluesbreaker, king of tone type circuit instead of a tube screamer? I said, sure, I'll give it a go. I've never tried that circuit before. But we put it in there, and there were no revisions. It was perfect from the very first prototype. So it's honestly my favorite drive of all the drives we have because it works with the way I play. And today we have a very special guest with us, a guy named John Souki, who plays for Chase Rice, and he's a monster shredder, and he's going to make it sound a lot better than I can. So let's hear your clean sound, please. So just from that, you can tell that the Golden Boy is a very transparent type of overdrive. It's just your guitar sound, just a whole lot more of it. As if you were to take an old vintage amp and just turn it up. That's the vibe behind this pedal. So it's real chimey, real clear. A lot of guys in the church market use this pedal because it fits in with that style of music. So we've got some really interesting features in this pedal that I'll walk you through now. There's a feature in the Golden Boy called Gain Cycle that we developed, and I'm very, very proud of it. Because as a kid, I remember playing gigs, and when you ever want to adjust the gain on your pedal, you have to stand on one foot and try to adjust the gain with the side of your other foot. And that gets kind of goofy after a while because frankly, it's distracting. And so I thought, what can we do to change that, to solve that problem for guitar players, where a guy like John, who's playing big arenas, can focus on the craft, focus on the notes that he's supposed to be hitting on his cues, and not have to mess with trying to adjust the gain with your foot. So what I came up with is the Gain Cycle feature. And with Gain Cycle, what you do is you press both foot switches at the same time, and the gain will change in 25% increments, giving you 4 divisions of wherever you have the gain knob set. So right now, you'll see that it's max brightness, which is 100% gain of wherever the gain knob is set. If I press both foot switches together, notice how the LED got dim. That's now 25% gain of wherever that gain knob is set. So let's see that. Now, the way I envision guys using this is, say you start the song off, you have an intro verse, you might start off in 25% gain, but as the chorus comes in, you might bump it to 50% gain, the bridge hits, you go to 75% gain, you do a turnaround or a solo, you go to 100% gain, do your solo, come out of that, go back to a low gain. It just lets you kind of musically follow the gain landscape, if you will. So that is the Gain Cycle feature. We're very proud of it. It's an exclusive feature to Jackson Audio, and from all reports that we've gotten from players, they're getting a lot of use out of it, and it's working out as we hoped that it would. So to talk about some other features, on the Golden Boy, the overdrive side has 4 clipping diode options, and clipping diode options are kind of an interesting thing within overdrive circuits because they change how a circuit feels. A lot of times your audience may not know the difference between a symmetric or an asymmetric type of clipping diode, but you will, especially in your right hand. It's a feel thing. And if you're anything like me, the way it feels is just as important as the way it sounds, because if it feels right, it'll inspire things that you normally wouldn't play. So I'll walk you through some of the 4 clipping diode options in the Golden Boy. So to get into the clipping diode options, you press and hold on the overdrive foot switch, which puts you into programming mode. Like all of our products, if you see the LEDs flashing, it means you're in programming mode and you can start cycling through things. So this right now is the blue mode, which is asymmetric clipping. It's got 2 silicone diodes chopping the top waveform, and it's got 1 silicone diode in reverse chopping the bottom waveform. So the waveforms are asymmetric. That's where we get that term. So give that a go real quick. If I press the foot switch and release, it'll cycle to the next clipping diode set. This is the amber mode. So we picked the color amber for the amber mode because it's using two LEDs to do the clipping, and those type of LEDs when used for clipping are very uncompressed and very open sounding, and it reminds me of the attack and the compression that you'll find in a vintage Marshall. So the indicator light on vintage Marshalls was always amber, so that's why we picked that color. All right, the next one is the green mode. This is 2 silicone diodes that are symmetrical, very much like a tube screamer kind of a thing. It's the same type of clipping that a tube screamer uses. It's very compressed, and it's evenly or symmetrically clipped. So give that a go. Okay, the last clipping diode option is the magenta mode. The magenta is a symmetrical clipping diodes, but it's using BAT42 type diodes, so it's I know that's nerd speak, but it approximates kind of the germanium type of clipping. It's a really soft clipping circuit. Give that a go. Okay, so that is a kind of a quick primer on the overdrive side. On the boost side, it's a MOSFET boost circuit. Now, I love MOSFET boost because, in my opinion, more so than like an op amp or a JFET, they have more of an amp-like characteristic in the way they push an amp. So they're certainly a favorite around the shop, and that's why you see a lot of them in my pedals. Okay, here's the boost circuit. It's pretty simple. Turn it on, and there's your boost control. It's your guitar, just a whole lot more of it. Okay, me being me, I can't leave well enough alone, so what I did was in the boost circuit, I gave a programming mode so that you can adjust the EQ of the boost, because sometimes you want a real thin boost, sometimes you want a full frequency boost, and I try to give you all those options if I can. So to enter it, or to get into the programming mode, as always, press and hold on the boost foot switch. The LED's flashing, it must mean you're in programming mode. So this mode right here, the aqua mode, is actually the 3rd mode. The way I just describe it, it's kind of a tailored boost. It cuts just a little bit of low end, because in my experience, when you put a boost in front of an overdrive, if you put too much low end, if you boost too much low end into that drive, the drive can kind of flub out and kind of lose definition. So in my estimation, this is a really good kind of a tailored EQ that works with just about everything. So try that. Okay, the next one up is the blue, and that is a full frequency boost. There's no attenuation of highs or lows. It's everything. All right, cycling around, this is actually what I would consider the first position. It's the yellow mode. We call it the brightest setting because, you know, yellow's pretty bright. So it cuts a lot of low end off. It's almost like a treble booster. All All right, number 2 is the green mode. The green has a mid hump to it. We chose green because, you know, tube screamers have a mid hump, and it kind of makes people reminded of that mid hump. So. Okay, so the strength of the boost is in how it relates to the overdrive. So we'll turn the overdrive on, we'll let you hear how it sounds to boost that overdrive with all the different EQs of the boost, and that'll kind of more clearly show what we're talking about here. Okay, so I'm going to cycle around to the yellow mode. That's the brightest one. Give that a go. All right, we heard the green one, so here's the aqua one. It gets fatter and fatter as we go up. And finally, there's the blue one. That's all frequencies. That's max boost. All right, so that is the Golden Boy. It's a transparent, really chimey style overdrive with a really flexible MOSFET type boost circuit. It's got MIDI control over everything. MIDI controls your gain cycle, clipping diodes on both your overdrive and your distortion. Of course, it turns circuits off and on like the boost and the overdrive. But it's done really well for us. People seem to like it. On guys that have these really big pedal boards with MIDI rigs, they seem to really take advantage of it. If you want to find one, you can always find one at sweetwater.com or call your sales engineer. They'll take great care of you, as they always do. So thank you for watching. I'm Brad Jackson with Jackson Audio. John Souki here is shredding for us, so thank you for watching. Have a great day.